Will you carry that daily now or something?
Just in the summertime, usually. Because I don't have a coat to put all my stuff in pockets.
So you're just gonna carry that during the day?
It's a
unbelievable.
shoulder. I gotta go to the warehouse, pick up this. I gotta drop these off. Is there anything you need from the warehouse?
Nope. No prendo.
And then I'm gonna try and move those 974 boxes out of the way.
Well then just take the van.
I already filled my car.
Oh. You got all that trash down there. I'd like that trash taken.
Alright. I'll
Anyway.
Where do you want it? Where do you want that trash?
Down to the city dump or the dumpsters.
Okay.
That can all be dumped in there. That's all reusable. Okay, so you're asking yourself, what is today's live stream going to be about? Well, it's going to be about what is a slot car. And I'm going to give you Bryan Young's consolidated history of slot cars. And I'm going to give it to you from a rudimentary concept. And you're going to say to yourself, well, now that's an interesting take to slot cars. Now, why hasn't anybody ever done that before? Well, the reason is that slot cars there's not a lot of people, and I'm just going to say this just flat out. There's not a lot of people that have had the experience that I've had selling slot cars to the retailers. Okay? I am probably, and I'm not boasting about this, I'm just giving you fact. There's a difference between bloviating and fact. What I'm giving you is fact, okay? And I can back my fact up with evidence, okay? And and so we so this morning is going to be kind of a learning lesson with everybody, okay? Jesse's not going to be home till tomorrow morning. Everything is fine. I got picture. I'll go over these real quick with you. Kathy, let's see here. Family. So these were all taken yesterday. So this is Grandma with the twins. You got little Mackie there. Then you got Mackie looking at the baby. Little Mackie looking at the baby. 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 So, everything is fine from that standpoint. All right, so where have we come in the last where have we come in the last, well, I'll tell you, since 1997. All right. So in 1997, Scale Electric or Hornby, this company right here, Hornby, it's called Hornby. Now, where are my glasses? I can't do this without my glasses. And I had my glasses in here, and now I left them. Hold on. I want to make sure I have everything because this is going to be very informative. People are really going to like this video. I'm positive of it, and people will buy even more product from me because of what I'm going to explain to people. So this car right here was made. This is Hornby Hobbies. And this car was made back in 1995, 95, 96, 97, okay? This was the evolution, or this was the technology that Hornby did back in 1996, 97, 98. These were the cars they were making. This is the quality that they were making. Okay? And I will show you exactly. Okay, so you basically had a mold for the body and a mold for the windows. Clear, solid. You had no cost. This was maybe 10 cents to pump this out. Then you have the chassis. It was simply a guide pin, okay, right to a simple Mitsubishi motor. The cheapest motor you could ever make, okay, this motor right here. A simple plastic brushings, simple motor. This was the slot cars that were out, okay. Now, before these, okay, you had SCX that was making this in 1996. This is 93. These were made in 93, okay? But they weren't in the United States because the United States of America 1/32 scale was dead. There was only one guy that was selling scale or slot cars in the United States to retailers because he bought out all the companies that went out of business in the 60s, and that was REH. And REH just was selling it to people that, you know, wanted to maybe have a set, or they were selling Eldon sets and Strombecker sets because he had bought everything. Then Scale Electric came out with this. Now this, look at where it was made. Made in Great Britain. So this was made in Great Britain. Well, now let's look at this. Let's look at this car. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why these companies decided to go more advanced, but they forget their customers. They forgot their customers. They forgot, okay, camera's right there. They forgot who was really buying their product. And to where we have now cars that are too detailed. They're too expensive. So here is a Scale Electric car, Same concept. Basic chassis. It costs nothing to build this car. This car, I think the cost on this car, because we got a lot of these, we were selling these at Irwin Toy, and this was 97, 98. We were getting these cars, I think from China for like $4 or $5 wholesale, you know. And they were retailing like 19 bucks, $20. All right. Simple car, simple border, simple chassis, everything. Just very, very simple. Okay. Not a lot of electronics, not a lot of extra parts. Because every time you add another part to this car, you're adding more and more money to that car. Okay. Then you come to this car here, which we have a bunch of these on sale for people that want to buy them. But again, this is a Eldon car. Okay. Notice the nice body. It's a nice looking car. Okay. But see, this is the point that I want to make at. Is that all these cars were designed and made as a toy for basically boys between the ages of 10 and 17. You know, they wanted to have a product for basically kids.
Call from 141.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Everything's going well.
Okay.
She's got off the magnesium.
Okay. Okay.
If mom's available, it would be nice to have mom as much as I could get her to it.
Oh, today?
Yeah.
Why?
Just for helping out with the babies and stuff.
Yeah, just give her a call.
You're also at the store, so I don't know.
What?
Well, you have the kid. You have your own kids too.
Right. Right.
So whatever you feel comfortable with, let her know.
Alrighty. Yep.
So she can come over. All right.
Okay. Yep.
Sound good?
Yep. All right. Okay, so when they designed all these cars, they designed them for between, I don't know, 10 and 17. Okay? And they were just fun cars. They were a toy car. Oh, Bill, I'm going to put these on a track. I'm going to put these on a track and we're going to go racing around and we're going to speed each other. We're going to see who can win the car. Okay? And that's really what slot cars is. It's just a fun toy. Okay? The problem is that I'm seeing is that it's becoming so advanced. Okay? And so here's the cars from the 60s. This was a car from 1965. Yeah, this was 1965. This was the technology. Very basic. Now, this does have a broken mirror right here. Basic chassis, nice motor. Okay? Bucci motor. And this is Eldon. Then we go into Scale Electric. We go into the SCX cars. I want to show you one of these SCX cars because these are one of my favorite cars. I'd like to get the factory that made these cars and redo all these cars because these are great, basic. They're very inexpensive to produce. Okay. But again, see, it's not about professional. This was the enthusiast, the customer wanting to have a fun car and race it around the track, okay? And it's called play. It's the funness of it. And these came out in 93. So SCX was pushing the envelope, and so was Carrera. Everybody was trying to get better and better. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a Carrera car from the 1950s or 80s or 90s. I don't have a Carrera car from 1990. But see, here's a car. It's a basic car. Motor, axles, that's it. So when you're costing this car out, it's going to be the same motor all the time. The axles might change a little bit, but it's a very basic car. And this was the chassis. Now, SCX also made what they called the wireframe chassis. The wireframe was an adjustable wireframe, and your bodies just clicked right onto it. There was no bottom to the car. There was none of this. It was not, trying to make the cars look realistic, making the bottoms look. And now, and I'll show you a fly car where the detail, every aspect of that of adding more little detail adds another $1 to the car. And I'll show you about this one here, okay, when we get to that car. But this was an SCX car from the 1990s, 93. I just can't believe. See, we're living today, the last 10 years, and so we just think, okay, this is the way it's always been. No, it hasn't. The evolution of these cars dramatically took a dramatic jump. So, and I've said, so this is a Porsche. This was SCX, okay, to 1993. I started into the industry. I got hired by Irwin Toy in 1997, and Grant Irwin and I, in 1998, we went to Spain. And that was the first year, 1997 was the first year that TechnoToy was in business. TechnoToy right there. And this car was one of their first, 1998. This was their first car under the new management, okay? So let me show you where they evolved from this car, basic car, nice chassis, to this car, okay? And how they introduced several new technologies that nobody else had, okay? Now this was a two screws holding this car on. I'm taking all these cars apart because I want everybody to have a knowledge of where all this started and where it's gone and why the cost prices keep going up when the cost should really be going down. All right, so here is an SCX car. Now let's look at the bodies. Okay, so this was a two-formed body. Now this did have a driver in it. Okay, so you see the driver, so that added $1 probably to it. Now you look at this car. Okay, now that had a driver in it, but that was part of interior. Now then you look at this car. Okay, no driver, just solid windows. So we went from this body to this body. Notice the more detail in the fins. Okay, the tempo printing. You have the driver inside there. And then you have all the cost. Here's the circuitry for the lights. Okay, because the lights, basically, there's a little light right here. And these little prongs touched the circuit. Where's the chassis? All right, right here. These little prongs touched the circuit. This was a new technology that SCX was doing. And they touched this, which then gave power to the light, okay? So now you have the chassis. Let's look at how the chassis evolved. Now they have the circuit, okay? you have a pop-out motor. Okay, so the motor would pop out. All right. All right, so your motor could pop out. You could pop it in. These are all new technologies that SCX created under ProTinkerToys. Okay, and one of the other new technologies that they did was called their ARS. Okay, it's called the automatic return system, so that when you were driving, this thing would automatically come straight again. Now, this was their first generation that did not have that technology, but they did have this little prongs here that you would touch that would hold the guide or give power to the guide pin. Okay. Now later on, they went with the ARS system, which is right here. Now this is the next evolution of SCX. And this was under the Aduca days, the last days of ProTinkerToys, because ProTinkerToys went out of business. They went bankrupt in 2011. I was the last person to be working with ProTinkerToys. Javier and I were the last two people working for ProTinkerToy when they went in bankrupt. I've already told you that story in 2012. Now here's the new technology. Now this added another probably $2 to $3 to the car. Okay, notice a lot more tempo printing. They have got more stickers on it. That's more touching, more detail inside. Now you have electronic circuits. So those electronic circuits aren't cheap. Now, obviously, if you're making lots of them, you might get them down to 50 cents, maybe 25 cents, but that's a cost. That's another cost that you're adding to this car, okay? Now this chassis, okay? Look, I love showing this stuff off. All right. Oh, shoot. There it is. Now look at this chassis. Now they came out with a new system. Now they have a removable motor pod. Okay, so now the car can completely come out. All right. And this is the RK42 motor, which was their most powerful motor. Now, look at the circuitry. Okay. You've got right here all the circuits. That's a cost. So that drives the cost. Now, this is the ARS system. Notice, watch the ARS. It's supposed to center the guide pin when you're going around the corner. See that? That's because there's a little spring. You see the little spring there? Basically centers the guide pin. Okay? That adds another cost. That part right there, the owners of SCX, the Javier family, they get a royalty every time that part is made. So that adds another cost to the car. Okay? So you keep piling the cost onto the car, which adds more and more cost to your product. Again, for a toy. But it's not a toy. Because guys want these, and because a lot of the consumers now are males between the ages of 40 and 70. Okay? So this car was the latest car that SCX made, okay, during the ProTinkerToys days. It was kind of the last, I think it was the last year. And then the latest cars under Aducas are these cars right here. These were made under Aduca, 2013 and 14. Okay, not much difference. Same chassis, everything's the same. What I'm getting is the progression in technology and the progression in the detail of your cars. And it all started. Now, this company right here, Ninco was basically people that worked at SCX back in 1997, 98, 99. They decided they didn't like the way SCX was going, and so they wanted to create their own company. Okay, now, I am just giving overview history based on what I experienced by working for Irwin Toy. So you have this car. This is a Ninco car. Now this is their high-end or fly. This is the high-end fly car. Now, if you notice, this is just a tempo printing body. Okay, it's basically just a Lexan body. See that? It's just Lexan, you know, injection, basically just heat, you know, suction. It's very cheap to make this. Okay, but Fly was doing this, and their detail. But now this isn't a good example of the Fly detail. This is a good example of Fly detail. And this is why SCX, this is why all the companies decided to, hey, listen, if Fly is making these cars, we have to now make our cars as good. So this is probably one of the most detailed Fly cars other than the chassis, okay? Because they do have cars with chassis that show complete detail. But every aspect of this car basically emphasizes detail, okay? The motor, all the detail in the driver, okay? They even have the air can down here. All that adds cost. And so that's why a Carrera car, or not a Carrera, but a Fly car back in 1997, 98, 99, 2000, 2005, they were all in the $50, $60 range, okay? But this is one of their most detailed cars. Notice the back end, highly detailed. They wanted to get it so that you could look at this car and you would see that this is a high-end car. I mean, I've got other Fly cars that are just as detailed. Lots of Fly cars, but then you have slotted, then you had MRC, then you had sideways, and then you had you just had an evolution of cars, okay? But the thing we have to realize is that it all started here. It all started right here in the 60s. Okay? All started right here in the 60s. Early 60s. And then you go back to early 60s with Thunderjets. A simple motor, a simple pancake motor, all right? Just simple basics. Simple pancake motor, no magnet, just a basic car, okay? Basic slot cars. Now, why did they call it motorific? Or not motorific, model motoring. Because it was model motoring. You had your little steering wheel. I remember. I had my steering wheel. I'd set my steering wheels for a certain speed, and I'd just watch my cars drive around the track. As I was playing and pretending, I was just driving around the track. It was model motoring, okay? Because they would go fast enough to actually be about 40, 55 miles an hour, 60 miles, 70, but they wouldn't come off. And you could have a good race at a certain speed, okay? But then got into the professionals in the late 60s. Then you got into the competition pack. Everybody wanted to push the envelope. How do I take a Thunderjet and make it go faster? How can I make it go faster? And so they would keep on pushing it to where they then came out with the extraction chassis. Okay? The pancake extraction. Then they went from extraction to, I mean, all you have to do is get on Bob Beer's, but you got Super G, Super G Plus, Super 3, Super 3. They just kept going. How can we go faster? Until Tyco came out with their 440 X23s. Realistic speed of 1,500 miles an hour. Well, if you can show me a car that can go 1,500 miles an hour on a racetrack, I will be in on it, baby. But then we have AFX with their sealed motor, inline motor. Inline, I just call them Hobitchi motors because they're sealed motors. You can't do anything to these motors. Okay. All this costs money. This right here, this little circuit costs money. Okay, this motor costs more money. All right. You just got a basic. I really think if they want to keep these chassis, that's great. But I think they need to come out with the basic motor, basic chassis for people that just want to collect and have fun with it. That's my opinion. But there is going to be a time, and it's coming. I really believe it's coming now. That manufacturers are going to have to start realizing what do the people really want. And I think a lot of people and a lot of consumers have been duped, okay? And now they're paying much more than what they should be paying for a simple toy. That's right, I said it, a simple toy. Because that's what it is, it's a toy, okay? No, nothing more complicated than that. It's a simple toy. It's a slot car. Now, you can dress it up. You can do this. You can make a sideways car that's highly detailed. That's $69 or $79. All right. Or you can do another sideways cars, which are limited editions that are gold plated, that are $79. But the question is, the question I say is, where's the basic car for the average consumer? Or the kids sets? Okay? Where are those cars? Okay? Where are the basic cars Where are the basic cars? Kind of like this Opal. See, the fact of the matter is, so many people have only so much money. Let's say somebody's got $100 they want to spend a month on slot cars, maybe $200. They only have so much. They can't. Now, some people probably spend more than they should, but you say, okay, well, where's? So if you're coming out with a car that was $20, and now that car is selling for $50 or $40. How many cars can they buy? They only can buy so many cars. And I think retailers, or not retail, manufacturers have to look at that, and they have to say to themselves, wait a minute, what are we doing? Are we destroying our own industry? Listen, if I'm ever granted the purse strings of trying to create a great slot car company, I would come out with a whole line of these. I mean, every body I could get my hand on. A simple chassis that just screws on. No detail, no bottom pan, just a simple chassis, a universal chassis that can be adjusted, because this can be adjusted. All right. to whatever wheel went. So I have one chassis that can go on any body. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah. Now I just brought my cost down by about $1 billion. Okay. And now I can make every body I want. Okay. And people start collecting our body. Now, obviously, we have modern plastic injection molds that can make these a little more detailed. That's just in the cavity alone. Okay, so that's just the carving. Now, again, that adds cost. The more details you put in your mold, that adds more cost. So, how much detail do you want? Don't forget to tune in tomorrow, guys, on my live stream. Okay, why are we going to watch your live stream when they could be watching my live stream? Adam, I don't understand that one. Can you please explain that to me, Adam? Huh? Hi, Adam. Adam, can you explain to me why I'm promoting your live stream and not mine tomorrow? Thanks for letting us know, Adam, the original toy gun collector. But that's okay. Yes, we want to make sure we always support Adam. We want to support Anthony Bateman Sr. Now I'm going to be offering all of these cards that I demoed as one package. You can buy all these cars. And I'm going to offer it at one price. And all you have to do is the first person that says, types their name in and buys it, okay, they get it at that price. And it's going to be a rockin' smockin' deal, okay? I'm putting all the cars back because these are basically put in like these things, very cheap. I don't know if I would do this in China. I would just put them in a nice case. So that car, Matchbox. I wonder how much of these, I wonder how many of these are still in China. I bet there's millions of these in China still. Just laying around somewhere. Cases of them, just cases laying around. I honestly, I know they're there. One thing about China, they always make tons of stuff. You know what I mean? Okay, so we got that car, that evolution. We got a fly car. Where all the screws grow this car. Oh well. So we basically have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 cars. So that was the first new car that came out from ProTinkerToys in 1998. That was their brand new year. Man, that seems like a long time ago. But that's when I got into the market. That's when I got into the slot car industry. Basically 1997, 98, 99. Nearly 27 years ago. 27 is when I officially started. April of 1997 with Irwin Toy. I had to sell out all the scale. This is the product that I was going around and pushing. All of this scale electric. Irwin Toy had a warehouse filled with these cars. 10,000 of these cars. Just 100 in big Gaylords, just filled with these cars from China. Now, these were made in Great Britain, but yeah, they shipped a lot of it from Great Britain to Canada because Canada had a law that you had to see. Everything changed with NAFTA. When NAFTA was passed, it really destroyed a lot of companies' manufacturing base because a lot of stuff just left, you know. And they had all these. Canada had a lot of these rules where you had to manufacture the set in the state, in the country. So like all the sets that we came out with, Irwin Toy did, and one of their best was Pole Position, and they all came out of Canada. They all were manufactured in, what I'm saying is they were put together in Canada. And I met a lot of the girls that worked at Irwin Toy. I would go through the warehouse and I'd talk to them. Nice ladies, they're just, mothers, grandmothers, and they would just come in and they'd put all the sets together. They'd put all the components, the cars, the track, the instructions, and then they'd seal them. And Pole Position was one of the best-selling sets that Irwin Toy. That's the set that I sold 100 of them at Christmas, and that's how I got my job with Irwin Toys, because Grant Irwin said, "How in the heck did you sell 100 sets?" And I go, "Well, you got to know how to sell. That's what." And I don't shy away being a great salesman, and that's what I am, a great salesman. I realized, and I don't know if anybody's I've ever told this about me selling a dinosaur dung, but I did. I'm not going to go through it again. Now, we just went through 132nd, okay? Now, there's no difference. I mean, Carrera, they've had their evolution in cars. And then once digital came, that added another 20 to 30 to almost $50 increase in a set cost, almost $100 set cost, and anywhere from $5 to $10 in the wholesale cost of a car. That just skyrocketed right up. Now you have cars that have multiple headlights. You have Scale Electric making cars with capacitors so that when you stop, the lights stay on. All that has technology. All that has cost to it. Okay. Then now you have HO. Okay, and HO is just a smaller version of this. That's all it is. Smaller version of this. So now you think, okay, you have 1930s, one of the most popular toys in the 1930s. were Lionel train sets. Probably the most popular toy in the 1930s. Highly detailed, all made of metal, all made in the United States. Everything made in the United States. Everything. From the motors to the transformers to the track. Everything. I would love to go back. Now, just a memory. Yes, just a memory. Those were the good old days. HO and Big Track. And so now you have 9 million Americans going to war. Okay, these are 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds. And after 5 years, okay, so think about this. So Mac Miller, my stepdad, was 18, I think, when he went into the Marines. So in basically in 4 years, he's basically 26. He's my age when I got out of the Navy, 26. Young. Starts a family. That's in the 1950s. All of a sudden, they're wanting to do things. They're hobby builders. They've got jobs. They've got family. And then all of a sudden, you got the early 60s, and they want to do stuff, man. Now they got good jobs, and all of a sudden, Aurora decides to come out with vibrators. And then they want to come out with the most popular car that was ever made, and that is the Thunderjet. The basic Thunderjet. And everybody wants a Thunderjet. They sell millions of them. They produce millions of them, okay? They produce so many Thunderjets that they can't even keep them in stock, okay? That's how many they made. Now, then they have a problem. Management. Then we have the 70s. Costs go up, prices go up, fuel goes up. Everything is spiraling out of control. And does Aurora survive? No, they don't survive. Another company put into bankruptcy by the federal government. And that's who I blame. I blame the federal government for all these great companies that had to go out of business. Now, I do blame some of them for mismanagement. Irwin Toy, for example, great company, but because of mismanagement and squabblings within the Irwin brothers, didn't help. And so then you come out with Thunderjet, which ran from, and that's what I got into slot cars, is Thunderjets. And so now you have Thunderjets, which basically ran all through the 60s. I mean, this was the car that was raced at this, okay, on the Ed Sullivan show. It was a Thunderjet. 2 Mustangs. And another thing that helped a lot of these companies back in the 1960s was there was no licensing. That added another cost to the car. Yes, you're right, James Benito. Open to the public. And once you added the licensing fee, all the automotive companies, then they refused license. Before, they didn't care. They wanted their product promoted. Then all of a sudden, a lot of these drivers said, hey, I want to promote myself. I want to get licensing on me. And then that all shrank. Now you had a big tent out there. Everybody was buying the product. And then all of a sudden it started to shrink. 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 Look at NASCAR right now. The licensing on NASCAR is so prohibitive that it's almost impossible to want to carry. And here's NASCAR right here. I can't give this stuff away. I've got this for $12.99. I couldn't offer this for $10. Nobody would buy it. Okay. I couldn't offer this for $10 and nobody would buy it. And I've got it for $12.99. And this thing retailed for $29.99 when it came out 10 years ago. This came out in 1995. No, my gosh, 25 years ago. No, 29 years ago. This came out in 1995 by Racing Champions, Glen Allen, Illinois. Look at all the licensing. You know why these companies aren't making stuff? Look at all this licensing. That's the problem. ProTinkerToys. I'm doing good. How you doing? Yes, this is Bryan. I'm all by myself again today. How can I help you? For what? Yes. Okay, we can't. Hold on a second. There. And I. Yeah. Must have shipped it UPS, and it was supposed to go See, the problem with Canada is, and the problem with all these orders that we get, is some people. No, I know. No, I know that. I just what I'm saying is that, and this is where I'm getting, because some people want it shipped UPS. They don't care about the import fee because they want it quicker. Some people want it U.S. mail, but then it's slower. And so it's like a fine line of, okay, well, how am I going to get it to Canada really fast? Because UPS is not supposed to be charging the import fee. Okay, they're just not supposed to do that. But I can't tell them that in Canada because, Canada, it's Canada. There was none of this back when I was with Irwin Toy. There was none of this back in 97, 98. Then once NAFTA was... Right. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I did give you a free car. Did you get the free car? Oh, you haven't? Oh, okay. Well, that will cover half of the import fee. All right. No, I appreciate it. That's already gotten there. Alrighty. Well, thank you very much. Yep. See, and that's the problem with Canada is UPS is not supposed to be charging this import fee, which is really bad. Hey, did you forget? Hey, do you have the chip to go on the car? Hey, did you, hey, I gave you $5 for it. I have no idea what he's talking about. Hey, you just need to be funny. Hey, you missed me calling you. Hey, can you get a good deal today? Hey, it's always a good deal with this. Okay, I told you what I was going to do for you, Derek. Just buy something from me. Okay, that's all I'm asking. Okay, just buy something. Give me your price limit. Okay, how much you want to spend? All right, so let's get back on to slot cars. And what's the title of today's show? What's the title of today's show? Does anybody know what today's title of the show is? Bryan, big updates. What is a slot car? What is a slot car? What is a slot car? And that is what a slot car is. A toy. All right, it's a toy that looks pretty cool. Okay, now again, all these extra details add other costs, but the biggest cost, one of the biggest costs is this licensing fee. Okay, And that's another thing that's driving costs up for slot cars is the licensing fee. Okay. And when you keep adding the cost to your car, then that wholesale cost keeps going up. And then your retail keeps going up. Okay. And so if you only have $100 and your cars were $20, well, hey, I used to be able to buy 5 cars for $100. Now I can only buy 3 cars for $100. And so my overall cars per month I'm down because I can only sell so many cars. Okay. Like with Scale Electric, they totally, did I really want to quit carrying Scale Electric? No, because we were selling a lot of their cars before the pandemic. Well, we started carrying them in 2020 during the pandemic. Because during the pandemic, it was people were buying stuff and they were buying all sorts of slot cars. And then their prices jacked up by 40%. But that's because they're a British company. And the British and the Canadians, both those countries are socialist countries. And they have a very high socialist economic basis. You have to give everything away. And so when you do that, you then have to tax your people very heavily. And when you do that, you have less consumer money for the consumer to spend. It's basic economics. I don't know if I told people this. I think I told you guys this a couple weeks ago. Okay, then. Blow off your wallet and buy some already, Derek. LOL. Bryan is saying some of these names. I'm going to switch my name to Numbnuts. So Blue Oval Racing is Numbnuts now? Robert Fish, not since then, but I will try to get over maybe next year. Toilet paper, laughing. Be cool. Yeah, Irwin Toy was in Ontario. Downtown Ontario, actually, or Toronto. They were downtown Toronto. I used to drive there, about every 3 months. Grant Irwin and I would have meetings. I'd love to go there. George Irwin was the president. Did I tell you the email story? Did you guys hear the email story from George Irwin? The email story? Everybody knows about it. It's not like it's a secret. Where did you learn how to read? By watching these live streams. That's where. Sadly, everything is expensive here now. Did I ever tell you the email debacle at Irwin Toy? Do you guys want me to tell you the email debacle story? James Benito. Okay, so that's a no. All right, so I won't tell you that story again. Irwin was just north of Seaground. Yes. Tell us. Okay, so when I was with Irwin Toy, I was because when I first went to Irwin Toy, I wanted to get hired to be the product manager for girder and panel. Oh, he said no. Dr. Xavier said no. All right, so never mind. Sorry. I didn't say no. No, Dr. Xavier said no. The one where the guy was cheating on his wife and how he said he didn't like you. Yeah, so I thought it was funny, actually. So there was always a lot of drama at Irwin Toy. We want to know. So Irwin Toy was being ran by the two dads of Grant and George Irwin, two different brothers. So you had Grant Irwin's dad and George Irwin's dad. Then you had Bryan Irwin and Scott Irwin, which were brothers, older brothers of Grant Irwin. And Bryan Irwin was the somewhat the second in command. Well, Bryan Irwin decided to leave because there was so much turmoil going on between George and the other brother. There's just a lot of turmoil, and so the dad decided to sell out, and so they sold out to this investment firm. But anyways, so I got a call. So I was very passionate about girder and panels. I was always talking about it in emails. Hey, we need to do this about girder and panels and this about girder and all the meetings that I always bring up about girder and panel sets. Well, one day I got a call from Grant, my boss. He said, Bryan, I'm just warning you that you were involved or mentioned in about 20 or 30 emails between George Irwin and the buyer. They were, anyways, everybody knew that they were, anyway. So I said, really? He goes, how did I get in there? Because, well, because you were constantly talking about girder and panel set. And George basically said to you, I wish Bryan Young would shut up about girder and panel sets. It's so annoying. And the other person said, yeah, he did, blah, 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 blah. Well, anyway, so I'm at home in town here in Wayne. My office was in the office of my Kathy has now. And I'm just calling retailers and getting ready for another road trip. And all of a sudden I get a call from George. He said, this is George Irwin. I said, hey, how you doing? I was always pleasant. I like the guy. I mean, I like everybody, okay? Just, and I've got very thick skin. So if you say something to me that I don't like or that's mad about me, I don't care. I've got twin boys now, or grandsons, so I don't care. So anyways, he said, you probably heard about or seen these emails. I said, yeah, somebody said something about it. But I said, George, don't worry about this. I said, I'm passionate about girder and panel sets. And, so don't worry about it. Irwin Toy is great. And I love working for it because I love selling toys and don't worry about it. We'll just go on. And he said, thank you. And, we'll see you later. And I said, and I think, I don't know if I did this, but I'm pretty sure I said, yeah, make sure let's get some more girder panels. Anyways, in 1999, we dumped slot cars. No, in actually 2000, we dumped slot cars. And we jumped into Dragon Ball Z figures. And we sold so many Dragon Ball Z figures in 1999, 2000, and 2001. Because I didn't get laid off until after 9/11. Actually, October. Because I actually went to... so this is funny. So... Actually, I was still with Irwin Toy until because I flew down to Orlando in October to go around with one of our reps because they wanted to know how, because I was a rep leader. I went around and visited all the reps and to try to get them to sell more of our product. And so I went down to Florida in right after 9/11. This is October, maybe the 10th. So basically 30 days after 9/11. And Orlando was a ghost yard. My goodness. You couldn't. I walked into this one toy store and they go, and I'm thinking, boy, and there was nobody in that city in 2001 in October of that year. It was a ghost yard. Not nobody coming down there. The airport was almost vacant. Anyways, and that was 2009 or 2001 October. And then at the end of October, November 1st, he called me and said, Grant said, we're going to be laying you off because they're doing away with the specialty division. And that's where I then decided to open up Rarity or Young's Newsstand, or not Young's Newsstand, Professor Tinker's Workshop. And then once I opened it, Grant called me back like a month or 2 weeks later and said, hey, we're not going to do away with your division. We're going to keep you. And I said, oh, great, Grant. I just opened up a store. And so, but then in January, they called me. Grant said, hey, name your price. We want you to come to Toy Fair with us. I said, name my price? You're kidding me. He goes, no, we need you. I said, oh, okay. And so I named my price. I think it was like $3,000 for doing 4 days of Toy Fair. Actually, Kimmy went there. That was the last show that Kimmy and I did. Matter of fact, Kimmy was really embarrassed with me. She got embarrassed with me. So we were in the hotel, the Hyatt, right downtown Times Square. And we were in the elevator together, ready to go downstairs. And a guy came in after Kimmy and I got on board. Now I was 20 years younger, so I was in my 40s, or 38, 2001, 2002. So it was 2002. Let's see, I'd have been 43, young buck by then. Okay, and so then she gets in the elevator and the guy goes, oh, so what are you and your girlfriend gonna do, or wife? And my daughter was she was blushing. I said, no, that's my daughter. And we had a lot of fun together. And then Kimmy, when I was with ProTinkerToys, she went to Chicago with me to a show. We did the NERSA show. Not NERSA, but the Richter show in Chicago. Kimmy did with me, which was a lot of fun. So Kimmy had done a lot of shows, and Ryan had done a lot of shows with me when I was with Irwin Toy. A lot of shows Ryan did. That was in 2001. Because Ryan was, 2000 we'd done a lot of shows together, because Ryan would have been, he was born in 88, so in 2000 and 2001 he would have been a 12 and 13. So that's the history of slot cars from my perspective. In my perspective, I look at it from the retailers and the consumers. Not from a distributor's standpoint. I feel that we constantly have to look at things from the consumer standpoint. How do we get something that's affordable to the consumer and at the best price for the consumer? And sometimes I think we fail at that. We don't target our product enough for the consumer. And we have 30 people watching right now. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Like, for example, so if you're watching the live stream right now, let's see here. So if you watching it on live, like here, like right here, okay, so what you do is you want to click this button right here. See, now I just gave me 20 likes. Now, if you want to subscribe, then you click that notification bell button right there, and you click all. Okay, you see where the word all? And you want to get all so that you'll get all the notification bells. All right, so it's real important. It's important to click the like button. That's all. There we go. Thank you very much. We just got one more person giving me the thank you. Get that buttons up. Get those buttons up. So, so it's really it's really depending on what you want to get in the way of a slot car. Do you want to get this kind of track or this kind of track? Do you want this kind of car or this kind of car? Now, you also have the Carrera Go, which is an intermediate size, which is really nice scale too. And that's 1/43rd scale. This is 1/32nd, and so 1/32nd compared to a Carrera, which is 1/43rd, it's about half the size. 140, 1/32nd, okay? And then you have 1/64th, which again is almost 4 times as smaller as 4 times smaller than HO. But again, I keep saying this over again, it really has to do with the size of table that you have to build, okay? And it's really all about the table. It's all about how big is your table going to be. Hey, about the slot called for 5. I start right there. Hey, about that slot car called for 5. I'll give you 5 for it. I'm not doing anything 5. I always buy something from you, don't I? So here is a picture of the new Air Force One for Kamala Harris. Okay. That's the new Air Force One, or her limousine, I guess. So, that is the, not the quick history of slot cars, but it's an overall view of slot cars from a different perspective of showing you where they evolved from. And listen, they were a lot more primitive than this car here, okay? There were some really cool cars. The problem is, in the 60s, this car, to believe it or not, this car was made for about $1 in I think this was made in America. But it was basically, and then basically about $1. It was manufactured for about $1. And just cost, everything in the 60s was very cheap. Everything was 60 in the cheap, or cheap in the 60s. Inflation was low. The dollar value was very high. Our dollar was worth a lot of money. And then all of a sudden in the 70s, we got rid of the gold standard and everything just went to crap. Our budget started to explode. And the price of our dollar just keeps diminishing in every country. I don't care what country you're from. And then we have all these cars. And then we have the cars nowadays, okay? And these are cars, same cars as, now these cars were made in 2005 by Auto World. This is their Johnny Lightning line, okay? They called it Thunderjet 500. Slot car, Thunderjet 500. These were no magnets, okay? You know what one car I'm constantly restocking? 1965 Ford Mustang number 59 CP7828. I'm always having to put more on the shelf, which is good. We want to do that. We constantly want to put more on the shelf. More on the shelf. Which is good. You got that track? All righty. Way to go. Oh. Dickie called. They wanted their order shipped U.S. mail to Canada. They got a $40 surcharge from UPS. They're not supposed to do that. I don't know why UPS surcharges people. They're not supposed to do that. UPS is not supposed to do that. Unbelievable. So basically back here is all the Carrera cars. And we got what we got left, the fly cars right here. Alrighty. Yes. Oh my gosh, she resigned. Oh good boy, was she incompetent. Oh my gosh. Holy moly. She resigned. I think I just got the word that she resigned. I just got a notification. Man, she was incompetent. Oh my gosh. I mean, incompetent. Listen, I don't like to. My sons love conspiracies. I don't want to believe that Trump was set up on Saturday 2 weeks ago, but the evidence is coming out more and more that he was set up to die on Saturday. And I just keep telling people, if it wasn't for this, just turning his head at the split second that bullet was traveling, it was all over for him. I mean, think about it. Just doing this. That's all he did. And that bullet just went from here. Let's see, how did it go? Because he turned his ear and the bullet just grazed his ear. It's crazy. Anyway, so these are all the fly cars. Now, at one time, all three shells had fly cars, just so you know. All three of these shelving units had fly cars in it when we first opened. All 3 of these had flies in it. Ninko was this whole thing. Okay? That's how many fly cars that we've sold over the last 5 years. 4 years. Yes.
I just want to propose an idea.
Oh my gosh. He loves to make things complicated. But go ahead, I'll listen.
Okay, we have a lot of inventory down there, do we not? I was just thinking, because it was a hassle. It took way longer than it should have to me to, I couldn't even get the other one, the other stack of boxes, right? So I had to move, they come in there, and I have to move them all the way to the box room, and I have to take them off the crate. I didn't take them off the crate, but to get into the box room, I have to take them off the crate, correct?
Well, they could be put right next to the other ones.
That's what I want to do, but we have to move the stuff there in here, and then we can just put boxes right there, right? Secondly, we could turn the box, we could take all the boxes and put them over here, turn that into a shipping room, because we already have all the stuff there. There's no point in going down there and bringing it back when we already have internet. We can fulfill orders down there now, right?
Yeah, but we don't have heat yet there yet. And
we
so,
don't need heat right now.
No, I know that, but
And if we just heated that room,
correct,
right, we wouldn't have to heat anything
right,
else.
but the only 10% of items are going to be shipped out of there right now. I mean, unless we move everything out of here down to the warehouse, which is not going to happen.
Right. No, we're never going to do that. But we still have.
What do you want to do?
I want to make a second shipping room.
I know you do.
Right.
And we're not there yet.
It wouldn't cost anything.
I know that, but what I'm saying is that the amount of product that we have down there is only going to fill maybe 20% of the orders.
Yeah, that's fine. That's still 20%.
Right? Yeah, but then you're going to be coming all the way back here for product, going all there, which is just a waste of time.
Well, the waste of time right now is going there.
No, I know that because everything's supposed
back.
to be in all these sea containers, and it was all taken out of the sea containers and put all down there because Daniel wants to do all this inventory and then get them back into the sea containers.
Right.
So all this stuff is supposed to be coming back to the sea containers.
Right. I don't know. He says that we're supposed to put lights in it. There's light. We don't need any electricity over there. There's electricity here. You're paying a mortgage.
No, I know that. That's just for bulk storage, though. But this is the main shipping area is here. Okay.
Right, and that's my thing. Is like you could make a shipping area here. You almost wouldn't even need the sea containers at that point, right?
I don't think we're there yet. I mean, it's an idea. I just don't think we're there yet. Now, I mean, the boxes you can also put here. You also put the boxes over here. Set them over here.
I mean, that's fine, but this is more organic for like.
This has to be cleared out
in the wintertime, right?
Right.
But like, if it's cleared out, it's hard to get to those.
I know. Well, but that's because it's not organized, and I haven't
a mess
been
in there.
I know that because Daniel just keeps throwing things down there and not getting it done. And he told me by September it's all going to be done.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be going down there one of these days, and I'm going to start organizing it according to how I want to organize it.
Right. Because I mean, I had to move. Like his desk is right here. It's in the way of, all the other. That's crate space. It's pallet space. That
Correct.
needs to be. I don't know. It's just like.
I know what you're wanting to think.
I'm just planning to see.
I understand. But let's move that other one. See if we can get it over here. But you can't because you got all this other stuff here.
Right. That's
and
what
it's
I'm
moving
trying.
Stuff around.
Right. And I was like, I'm gonna have to do a major project just to move these.
Then
boxes.
don't do it right now.
Yeah, I just moved it to there, and I said, you know what? I got other stuff.
Yes.
I'll talk to Bryan before I do anything else.
That's very good. See that he did something I like.
But I just wanted to bring it to your attention. That
It is.
Let
me think about it.
Right. It's not a bad idea.
All right. Now, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, fly cars. You know what I do have? We do have... I'm telling you, the oh, I hate Scale Electric. Oh my god. Now there's 2 big orders that are going to be coming in today.
Yeah.
At Slot Car Depot.
Oh, for the exclusives that he sent us.
Yeah, I think they're coming today. Just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I wanted to double check on the cost of these electric cars, and they're absolutely ridiculous. Compared to what a Carrera cost me, this has got to stop. This has got to stop with Scale Electric. They are killing their business. I mean, compared to what I'm paying for this car, what I'm paying for cost, my cost for this car, compared to this car, way out of line. Way out of line. It doesn't make any sense. How could they be charging that for that car? I mean, I've got them at $49.99 retail. Okay, I can't tell you what I paid for them because it's ridiculous. Okay. $69.99 is, I'm not even, they have to be, oh my gosh. Oh well. I'm not going to lose money on them anymore. You know, I'm going to change all my prices back up to my regular prices. So if you want a Scale Electric car, okay, you better get it quick because I'm putting them all back to normal pricing. And when everybody's sold out, then I will be the only one that has a scale electric car. Okay, that's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous pricing. Yeah, tell them I'm going to watch through the cameras. Yeah, we need to find out who pulled the trigger, who planned it. That's the key. Who planned it? Who planned it? Okay, so let's see here. Where are we at here? We are. I didn't want to get into that scale electric thing again. COVID kind of messed up a lot of things. COVID kind of screwed up a lot of things in the retail business. One of the biggest things it screwed up was sea containers in 2001. Sea containers were $3,000 a sea container, and they went from 3,000. You had to buy them to 20,000. Tell me what, there was everything I bought in 2001 was a 10% surcharge. 10% surcharge. I have not had any word on the love sets. Any updates on the love sets? Do you have any hope you're Hope you had a good vacation. Hey, any updates on the love sets? Thanks, Bryan. Well, Thunder Jets. Lots of Thunder Jets. Extraction. You know what cars are selling? That we are selling them now. The Baja Blazer. These are really cool cars, and these are Thunder Jets. I wasn't too. I'm not a fan of the Bronco, but it's a good seller. The drivers. This is cool. I like the drivers. See, I think all the cars should have drivers in them. So if you have an open-wheel car like the Mustang, the open Mustang should all have drivers. They all need to have drivers. They will sell twice as many as if you put a driver in them. Especially the Cobra. The Cobra needs to have a driver. That's all. And you know what's we're out of now we're selling out of these things here. We only have 2 of these left. 86. Who would ever thought we sold out of these things? Hey, people hated these things. These cars did not sell as well as I thought they would. And these are nice cars too. The 57 Bel Airs with the pipes. I mean, this is basically similar to the 56 or 55, but these didn't sell very well. And I thought they were nice cars. Of course, this is a nice car here. The Plymouth Barracuda Grand Coupe. Check out that, 1970. Those were the last years of the really good muscle cars. 70 was the last good year of muscle cars, and then they all went to crap. In high school, the 1973 Datsun was pretty popular. These were everywhere in Bowling Green. Everywhere. '75 Ford Escort. I had a 1980. My first Escort was a 1980 Escort. 75. Isn't that cool? They didn't bring the Escort into the United States until 1980. That was my first brand new car, 1980 Escort. Then I bought a 1985 and a half as my second car. When Kathy and I had our first baby, Catherine, we bought a station wagon. It was called a 1985 and a half Ford Escort. The dealer was corrupt. Do you know that Kathy had the accident, and he had to order a new hood, okay, a new fender, and then I go in there after they'd done the work. They didn't even put on a new hood. They ordered the part, but they kept it. And I got the same hood on my car. They're very corrupt, that dealer. They're finally out of business. but just corrupt as anything. Most dealerships are corrupt. Not all of them, but you got a good percentage of them. This is one assortment that I really wish we'd never have done. You know, there's some things that I wished I'd done, and then some things I wished I didn't do. This is one of them. I mean, the gold chrome, I thought this Bel Air, the Nomad, would sell out. Actually, this was the most popular car, the LA Hooker. Go figure. And this Nomad, I mean, this is going to sell later on, but it just, and they basically just took the same car that was sitting in China, because you see they already had the number 1 on it. That shouldn't even be on there. They screwed this up so bad, but you know, there was a lot of confusion, so I got an extra discount, so I'm not upset, but that was a big blunder. That was a big blunder. We're almost sold out of these. The Datsuns. We're almost out of these. So if you haven't gotten one of these, you better get one. SCM 117. SCS 117. We're almost out of them. And we're almost out of these too. SCM 111. SCM 111. 11111111111. SCM 1111111. And then we got these. These we got from Auto World. These are sweet. And we still have the double derby and the single derby. Derby Mania. Derby Mania. You get basically a figure 8 with 2 crossover tracks and a set of demolition derby cars. And those are custom sets. We put those together. Let's go over and look at the Ford Mustang. Actually, let's see here. Let's sell these cars, and I'm going to put a price, okay? And you tell me the first person that buys them at that price. So if you're watching this, I'm going to show you a car, and I'm going to put the price, okay? And all you have to do is say yes for each car. Just say I want it. No, let's see. I want it. IWI. Just type in this. IWI. I want it. WIT. Or WII. WII. I want it. It is IT. I want it. Okay, you ready? All right, here's the first car. And we're going to sell this for $25. Mercedes-Benz, $25. $25. Mercedes. $25. This car is $25 right now. Only one of them. Whoever says IWT or IWI gets it. IWI, $25. IWI. Going once. IWI. This is an SCX car, never driven. IWI. IWI. Fish. Bryan makes any announcement. Waiting on him. $25. Selling it right now online. All you have to do is type in IWI. Well, that was a bomb. So, here we're not gonna do it. Well, guys, I just wanted to kind of go over the slot cars with you. The history of the evolution of the cars. And now we have the latest and the greatest, which is this one right here, which I think this is the nicest one they've done so far. Shelby. It's got the driver's steering wheel and everything. That looks really nice. See, and everything adds cost to the car. When you put one of those little stickers inside there, that adds a cost. Not much, but $6,000 limited run. That's so many. That is so few cars. The Astrovet. Alan Bean. Conrad, Gordon, and Bean. Apollo 12. That's kind of cool. Now, if you want to get something that's really small, let's say you got a bunch of kids and you want to do Legos and they just want to have a nice little fun race set, you can do the micro slot cars. And this is a deluxe set. You get a micro slot car set. Micro slot cars. This is a police chase. You get a police and again, see, this is unlicensed. So they came out with their own chassis and body. All right, generic. All right, and they don't have to worry about any licensing. There's no licensing on the back of this car. So they don't have to pay any licensing fee on this. The problem is they're out of cars. Then we have the Infinity set, the good starter set. And we have the supercar set. Very limited, not many of these left. Supercars. And then if you're really nostalgic, what happened to, oh, if you want a set from 1980, I've got the Ghost Rider set. This is an original set from Tony. And this set came out in 92. This set, 92. Look at this, I'll show you. Here is the manual, 1987 actually. 1987. That's the year I got out of the Navy. And this is a mint set, never been used. I only have 2 of these left, Ghost Riders. And that works too. That little computer, it basically drives one car all by itself. I want it. Ha! Let's see here. I want it. I want it. Kent Young. Wow, go for that. So what's up with the Slot Car Depot deal? Slot Car Depot deal? Well, we're going to have their cars here pretty soon. And Daniel will be having those up for sale pretty soon. Let me check in on him real quick. It's all about hype. He likes to do hype. When are you going to have the Slot Car Depot cars ready for pre-sale?
I'm working on those right now. I'm just getting some paperwork done.
Oh, okay.
Are they in?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll get those
He said they're supposed to be pretty quick. Ahoy.
Hi, Bryan. This is Kent Young. I put IWI, no response.
On what?
On that car you're selling.
Nobody responded on it.
I did 3 times.
Well, that was after I'd done it. So you still want that?
Sure.
I don't know if he's done your other cars. He was supposed to.
Blue Oval Racing responded too.
Yeah, but who put it up? Blue Oval Racing? Who was first?
I was.
Okay, so it's Kent Young. Alrighty. All right. Do you know if Daniel has billed you for all the cars, those Carrera cars?
He did, and I sent you payment on PayPal.
Oh, you didn't do it through the website?
I don't know. I just sent it to BCY.
Oh, that's why. And that'll stay open until it's... See, when you pay through PayPal, but it doesn't go through the website, then it doesn't show. Hold on, it doesn't show that it was paid. Hold on, let me go. Cause this is just sitting here. Let me go find that.
It's basic economics, you know. What my told people is,
Are you watching me live?
I am live streaming right now, yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. And do you know if he created an order?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Let me see here. The order number was,
Oh, I've got it right here.
What's going on, man?
What's up?
did you get the order number?
Yeah, I got it right here.
It was like $220.96.
Right, I'll add another. I'll add this to it, and then you can just pay the balance. Okay, I got it taken care of.
All right, thank you very much.
I'll send it to you as an updated order, okay?
Okay, all right.
I'll resend you the invoice. Well, just send me $25 because you're gonna get the whole. You're gonna get the whole amount, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and mark it as paid. So just send another $25 to my PayPal, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pay this invoice, and then now we can get it ready for ship.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right.
All right, thank you.
1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All righty. Great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Brian.
Yep. Yes,
Had a
sir.
great show.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Go away for a little bit and look what happens.
What happened?
You guys,
What?
your family.
What happened?
Jessica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Twins?
Well, and then the seizures. And,
Oh. Well, you know what? She had natural birth. Hey, can I help you?
I'm just gawking around.
Gawker. Okay, good. We love gawkers. Here's the Gawker discount. Here's the Gawker discount. Okay.
You come around this way now. She's back there.
And I'll come around this way. Here's your
Come around.
Gawker discount.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know, I mean, she had 2 children at natural birth at 7 pounds. You know, what do you think's going to happen to her body? Do you think the parts is going to pump normally? No, she's going to.
All of a sudden, it has to readjust.
It
will
does.
Readjust too fast.
Then they pump all these drugs into her. I think it's a. I don't
Yeah,
want to
she's
get into
supposed
it.
to do it at home, wasn't she?
Yeah, but
But yeah, well, it's probably a good thing she didn't. The one coming out feet first, and
I don't know. Did it?
that's what
Feet
my
first?
granddaughter-in-law said.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah, 'cause,
that.
we had a thing.
What?
It came up that it was inverted or I don't know, or something like that. I don't know, but
Was one of the baby's feet first?
Well, they really breathe sideways.
I mean, sideways. He came out sideways?
Holy
No
smokes.
way. Oh, you mean, okay, it was sideways, and so they grabbed it by the feet and pulled it out. Oh, I see. So they both came out by the head. So they're actually taller now because they pulled
They
the
stretched
neck.
it.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah.
That's healthy. Okay, all right, thanks, bye. What? Oh, Matt Flynn is here, or Matt
Flynn. Jeez.
Flynn.
Okay, go away for a few
Matt
days.
Fagan, the gunman. He was saying that he heard that it was feet. Okay, so, but it didn't. Both were head, right? Okay, all right. What did they want to talk to you about? I don't know. The hospital. Where are you going?
I got the wrong track.
Why?
It was the right number. I looked at the number,
Yeah.
and then when I flipped it over, it has to be black.
You sure it has to be?
That's what it says.
Hurry up.
That's what it says.
Okay. All righty. All right. Take it easy. Okay.
So, yeah, I had
So
to
anything
run over-
else?
Well, I had to run over to Radnor to get a part for the trailer, but my converter went out.
My
So that's
My-
$600.
so my I wonder why I've been going through so much natural gas or some propane.
Yeah.
And I found out that my refrigerator, the electrical sensor is bad, and so it's been running on propane the whole time, even when I'm plugged in.
Oh, you didn't listen to it to find out. Mine switches over, but ours isn't.
No, mine switches over too. I've got an automatic switch so that when you're on electricity,
Yeah, but it wasn't switching.
no,
over.
because the electrical
temperature
sensor is
sensor.
bad. So I ordered a new one. I got it. I'm going to put it in tonight.
Well, mine on Norcold, they had a recall years ago, and there's a little black box that's hooked in. Your 12 volt comes in, 12 volt goes out to your main control board. Then you've got that temperature thing.
Right.
All right. Well, so I bought a new one a while back. So we're gonna go camping, and I can't get the fridge down below like 50 degrees. So I'm working, trying to figure this out, you know. And finally, it was doable. So we went ahead and went, and I messed with it a little bit there, but not much. So I get home, and I'm messing with it, and all of a sudden it was, well, there's a little light on it, started flashing. So I went in line, I looked it up, it said low DC. Well, and so I looked on the fridge, and that's what it was telling me, low DC. I'm like, all right, so I got my meter out, and I checked the wires, and yeah, I only got 9 some bolts, okay, coming off. So what do? Well, I trace where my front is, where my battery is, tested that, 9 some bolts. So I disconnected the converter and tested that, and like 5 something. So I pulled the fuses, they were fine, put them back in. So it asked me that
Unbelievable.
converter, so they can make.
Well, she resigned.
Who?
The Secret
Oh,
Service.
seriously? Well, yeah. Well, she should have just been shot. That's all.
No, you can't say that.
I can. I did.
I'm in a live
Telling you,
stream.
somebody that like her that messes up that bad, she should have been alive.
Well, no, but
This is
it's
ridiculous.
it's worse than that.
They didn't even have a command post that was really working.
Well, now they're finding that none of these guys were really Secret Service.
Oh no! Well, you could tell by that one lady trying to reholster. She just held it. It's like, really? Come on.
Come on.
It must have been liberal.
It's I just lost the sale. Thanks a lot, Matt Fagan.
Call from 19192.
All right, what am I going?
All right, take it easy. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes. I did not come any across anymore. I got to check a guy. I don't know if he has still some in Florida. I'm gonna call him. He's supposed to be calling me this week, and when he does, I'll give you a call. I will. No. If I can get, they're not going to be the. I don't know if they make those anymore, but I'll check into it. All right. Right. All right. Well, let me look to see if I can get some more. Okay. I'll look in my warehouse. All right. I'll get back to you. Okay. Hey, thanks. Yep. Bye. Okay. So Kent Young. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three. Anthony Baker. Kent Young. Kent Young. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8 items. Okay, so that order's done. All righty. Well, we've had our 2-hour show. 2-hour show. The waves were getting rough. The tiny show was tossed. If not for the faithful's captain, the USS P. Tinker would be lost. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed today's show. Another great show. I had a lot of fun today. We got to talk a lot about slot cars, the basics of slot cars, and all the neat things about slot cars, and my history of slot cars from my perspective, which is my perspective. I always tell people my perspective is the right perspective. I'm kidding. That's a joke. We basically we have all these other cars. Oh, what the heck. Maybe you guys, nobody was buying on those. Okay, so we have another car. So we're going to do 2 cars. We're going to do these 2 cars. Actually, I'm going to do these 3 cars. These basic cars, basic 3 cars. You got a fly car here, and you got 2 scale electrics. And we're going to do $30 on these 3 cars. $30. Who wants them for $30? All 3 cars, IWI. Just take IWI. IWI for these 3 cars. I'm going to put them right here. IWI for $3. IWI. I hate these displays. IWI for these 3 cars. Who's the first? Kent Young. Okay. Well, that was too fast. Okay, so for $30. So Kent Young has got another one. $30. All right, then we have a SCX for $25. IWI. IWI, $25. 25. 3 cars. 3 cars for 30. The Porsche for $25. Let's see, $25. Anybody for SCX Porsche? $25. 25. Going once. Going once. Hang on, Jack. I don't have a track. Or is that a sale? That's on sale. $25 for this. Kent Young, another one for Kent Young. $25. Kent. And then the last car is probably the best for $25. $25 is the SCX Porsche. $25. $25. No, please. $25. Going once. $25. Going once. Going once. Going once. $25. 25. Bingo. Hey, bada. Hey, bada. Hey, bada. $25 for a Porsche 1998. This was made in 1998. It was their first production. First production. He buys anything Bryan sells. Okay. Kent Young. Kent. Okay, so that was it. That was a very fast sale. We sold all 3 of them. So now I'm going to change his order. And I'll get these up onto, send him the invoice, and he can just pay that invoice. Just pay the difference. So we've got, let's see, we got 225, we got 2 25s and 130. Okay, we got 25, 30. So we got 3 cars. So let's resend that. Edit. Okay, 3 cars for $30. And then a Porsche. All right, so we got those 3 cars. Oh, hi there. All right. All right, we got the $80. Let's see, 50, 60, 70, up to date there. Alrighty. Okay, so let me wrap these cars up first. All right, so let me wrap these cars up with Kent Young. No, it's not that Kent buys anything that I sell. It's just that he likes to buy what I'm selling. That's really what it's all about. And that's why we do the live streams. We do the live streams for people to buy things that they normally can't get a hold of. I find it funny that not everybody has the means to buy something that other people have the means to, you know? I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff here. So that's Kent Young's order. As soon as he pays for that, well, we're going to go ahead and ship it because he's good for it. So, A92. Well, that's a fly car. I hope we have that in stock. Mac Henry loves to use this stupid stuff. Oh, I hate this stuff. Well, we're selling one Mayflower a day lately. So that just gives you an idea. I'm selling one Mayflower a day. And so you Oh, I'm sorry. Let me tell you. You know what's really cool is? I don't know how long I was silent, but I'm selling one of these a day, okay? And what's really nice is I've got all my exclusives. No, there's sound now. Refresh. 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 Okay. Refresh. Okay, so here's what I was saying is that now I got to go to the bathroom. Refresh. Okay, so here's what I was saying is that now I got to go to the bathroom. Refresh. Okay, so here's what I was saying is that now I got to go to the bathroom. Refresh. Okay, so here's what I was saying is that now I got to go to the bathroom. Okay. Okay. All right. So what I was saying is I'm selling one of these a day. And I'm so glad I have all these exclusives because there's no new product out. And so people are finding this stuff now. And now I'm going to have Slack Car Depot's cars. He's going to have my cars. And we are going to start the greatest the resurgence of slot cars in America. It's going to be huge because we're going to have his cars here and he's selling my cars. Oh my goodness. I mean, let me just absolutely take a walkie-talkie. Okay. It's sweet. I am so happy. We're supposed to get those cars today. Tomorrow we're going to do a live stream of unboxing them. And Do you have did Logan make logos for all these Slot Valley or Home Depot or Slot Home Depot cars?
I'll get them. If you just put them in trays, give them each their own tray, like you do the regular cars. Are they there?
No, they're probably going to be here today though.
Are you looking for tracking?
No.
Okay. All right, I'll try to get that done. I'll try to get it up as fast as possible.
No, I don't care when you get them. I just didn't know if you.
Because we got 96 of a bunch of them, and then we have 48 of like a couple of them.
Today, all of them are coming today.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so just get.
Have Mac Henry put them in trays.
Yeah, just get one tray for inside, and then there's eye wheels. Tell him to set all the eye wheels aside, and tell him to like.
How did he get eye wheels and we didn't?
He made his after ours,
Oh.
and they're not doing eye wheels anymore. That's his biggest complaint. Is because he was saying he was selling his eye wheels for like almost $130 a piece.
Alrighty, I'll talk to you later. Okay, so there's going to be a possibility of eye wheels of these cars. This is big news, baby. This is big news. We're going to be making slot cars great again. I'm going to make slot cars great again. Great again. Great again. I'm going to make slot cars great again. Great again today. Hey, you know what, guys? I meant to tell you. You know, if everybody gets on my website, we have so many cool things. And you know what's really neat is we got all these animals. Check out all these animals we've got. Dinosaurs, lizards, eagles. Okay, I mean, we've got so many animals. All right. We got so many animals. The problem is we need a base for these things. You know what? We have T-Rex. Okay, wait a minute. All right, Bryan Young. Gene is asking outrageous money for his exclusive iWheels cars. How are you going to deal with that problem? Okay, first of all, you know, Robert, I wish you would understand that, you know, I tell you, you know, he's only getting maybe 10 to 20 iWheels, okay? And why is it always a problem? Why is it problem, Robert? I understand. See, and I don't want to. I want to try to sound polite and everything, but you know, when people want to live, okay, I'm not even going to go there, Robert. I'm not even going to go there because I don't want to. I don't want to think. I don't want you to think. I mean, I dealt with this all the time at my newsstand. I'm telling you, I had professors coming to my newsstand. We'd always debate. I had a professor. I actually had a debate at the university. He was a Democrat and I was a Republican, and I just creamed his clock about capitalism and about free market. It's supply demand. If you have a high demand and you have a low supply, those prices are going up. Plain and simple. I don't care where you are, unless your government comes in and does price control. Now, if you want price control, good luck with that, because now you're going to have ration and you ain't going to get anything. Okay, what are I-wheels? I-wheels are basically cars that come in, and I think that they're doing away with the I-wheels. There are going to be less I-wheels now than ever. But an I-wheel basically is a car that, and I don't have one here. It's maybe you can see it on here. It's basically a white car with white wheels. It's the same car that's in the assortment, but it's a white car with white wheels and a white chassis. It's a unique car. There's only so many of them. They're very rare. And the problem is most people have not liked the I-wheels. But then all of a sudden, because we were bringing so many cars to the market, that all of a sudden the I-wheel thing has been becoming popular. Everybody wants an I-wheel car, okay? And the I-wheels are, I know that. He's charging over $100 for a car. It's called supply and demand there, Robert. If nobody wants to buy it, they won't sell at that price, okay? Now, we're offering the I-wheels to our club members, okay? Those are perks that our club members get, okay? I know it's ridiculous. Everybody, it's ridiculous. I know. Charging over $100 US for a car that costs $15. It's all right, Robert. How much should we cost? You are now in control, Robert. You are now in control. You tell me what I have to sell my cars for. That is called communism. Okay? That is called communism. I am not a communist. I am a capitalist. 100%. I don't believe in socialism. I don't believe in capitalism. I don't believe in any other form of government other than capitalism. Capitalism. Free capitalism. Right now, we are a tyranny capitalism. Government capitalism. And capitalism has not just been around for the last 100 years. Capitalism has gone back to the beginning of man. The first time somebody bought something and sold it to another person, that's capitalism. I buy it what I want and I'm going to sell it what I want. And if you don't like it, then you find another place to buy it. That is called the marketplace. Now, if I have one car, I have this car right here. There is only one of them. Only one. I will set a price that I want to sell it for. If somebody wants to, oh, my heart. Where's my, do you have your heart blood pressure thing?
Not on me.
What took you so long just getting curves?
He's got them mislabeled, right? So I grabbed the right one.
Yeah, I know that, but what took you so long? You've been down there for the last hour.
I was down there for like 30 minutes.
You like to just go down there and have fun, I think.
No, I was trying to get the internet to work because I didn't bring the...
What's wrong with it now?
I just had to restart it.
Calm down.
Bryan, which one's bigger?
They're the same.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Bro, look at that one.
I know, they're both 90 degrees, okay?
Are you? I just thought it was like a cool optical illusion.
It's not an optical
Yeah, it
illusion.
is.
Not if you have a brain.
Yeah,
Calm down, Robert. Just gets you going, LOL. I'm not the one that got going. Bob Momo. Not in real life, but I saw that the Nuremberg Tofo videos here on Inway. You have every right, Bryan. Settle down, man. You are getting angry. Sell it for whatever you want. Who cares? Nobody cares. Nobody. Let's say, Kevin Carroll, sell them for what you want. Nobody cares. SVR talking. Who's SVR? Where's SVR talking? Where's SVR? Have you seen it back ordered? Ridiculous. Charging $100 for a slot car. Can you pre-order the hybrid set in the Germany? I don't know. What are we talking? Carrera set. Bryan, have you seen the hybrid Carrera set? I've got them on order. Bo, where is the place? Robert Fish, sorry. All right, so let's just make it very clear, okay? I've been dealing with this for 40 years, okay? The first time that I sold something, and I sold a ton of them. All right, let me tell you the item that I sold the most of.
He sold rocks on Pangea.
I sold more of these than any single item I've ever sold, okay? And the reason I was lucky is because I always had Good Morning America on in the Young's newsstand, when I had Young's newsstand. And I had bought comics, and so I had pre-ordered The Death of Superman. I had already pre-ordered it. I ordered 100 copies. And then all of a sudden, I'm in my store. I got them in, the paperback, the cheaper version, the $1.50. I think they were $2 or $1.50. No, $2. They were $1.99, I think, or $1.50. I can't remember. This is back in 1992. Anyway, so I was watching television, Good Morning America at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. and they were talking about The Death of Superman, how the comic book's flying off the shelf. I immediately called Capital City. I said, Capital City, how many Supermans? I want 500. I want 500 Death of Supermans. Do you have them? She goes, yeah, I can give them to you right now. I said, get them to me now. And they shipped them to me next day. I got them the following day, and everybody was coming into Young's newsstand for the Death of Superman. Okay, and I sold them for $5 a piece. Every one of them. I said, they're $5 a piece. I just special ordered them. I just got more in. They're sold out, and I got more. Everybody was so happy. Oh, can I have 2 of them, Bryan? I go, yeah, you can have 2. How about, can I have 3? Oh, yeah, you can have 3. Okay, now, I'm going to show you another. This is my last example, and then I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go have lunch. So this is back in 1993. And Bryant, they used to work here. Bryant, right down the street, Bryant Lee, he used to come in my store when he was in college. He was 19. And one day he came in my store, and I had just got an original box of 10 Magic the Gathering Alpha editions. The first production of Magic ever. 1984. 1983. I said, Bryant, you got to check out this new game. It's hot. He grabs you. Really? He goes, and they were $9.99.
They're like $1,000.
They're $1,000. I mean, they're
off the chart.
I mean, they're off the chart. Okay, but I sold them. I wanted to sell them, so he grabbed one. Why are you sitting down in my chair?
I'm gonna look up how much they cost.
I knew you would do that. He grabbed one starter deck. He went home. 10 minutes later, he goes, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Give me another one. Grabs another one. He lived right across the street from the Young's newsstand. He goes right across the street, comes back an hour later, grabs another one. Within 1 hour, he had bought every single deck that I had.
Is this the one you have? Magic the Gathering?
Alpha. Then
it's over $100,000.
And then my distributor, Capital City, called me and said, hey, we've got the mint box set of every single card. They don't do it anymore. Now they had square edges on them, so you knew that it was a collector's. I go, give me one. Give me one. I want one. So I got it in on my next shipment. Bryant came down. He bought it. About 10 years later, 5 years later, I was talking to him. I said, do you still have that original deck that I said? Yep, sure enough. Matter of fact, he brought it to the house, opened it up, and showed me the original alpha deck of Magic the Gathering. It's called Supply and Demand. People always tell me, well, Bryan, you can't create. I said, listen, you create the demand and people will buy it. Just like when I started carrying Man of War, Games Workshop, nobody was carrying it in Northwest Ohio. Nobody. I started carrying it, doing TV commercials, and I was selling it so fast head couldn't spin. Same thing with Pogs. I was selling so many Pogs, it's sickening how many Pogs I was selling. And it's all about supply and demand. It's you take a risk. I am taking the risk. Now, am I upset with Robert? No. No, I'm never upset. BS excuse to price gouge. It has nothing to do with price gouge. Has nothing to do with price gouging. If I'm the only one, okay, if I'm the only one that's producing a gold yo-yo, I can put whatever price I want on it. And if people want to buy it, they have a right to buy it. And if people don't want to buy it, they have the right not to buy it. But I'll tell you something, and I've told this story, and this is the last story I'm telling you. If I could sell dog dino crap, I could sell anything. And there's always somebody out there that's wanting to buy something from somebody else. Now, how much we're going to put these up, I have no idea. I don't know how many we're going to get. I don't know if we're going to get one. If we're only going to get one, I might put them at $300. I might put them at $400. I might even sign mine. I'm just kidding. Like Pokemon. I get in Pokemon late. Okay, Bryan is the rest wolf of the Wall Street. That's right. That's right. I know people who sell dino crap all the time. It's called corporate. The corporate. Bryan. No, I'm just saying that, you know what, guys? I wish people to understand that supply and demand is really what it's all about. It's supply and demand. If you have too much of a supply and not enough demand, you're going to get rid of it, and you're going to get rid of it quick. That's why I bought 4 pallets of wood pellets back in February. I bought 4 extra pallets because they were only $200 a pallet. I saved over $150 a pallet for wood pellets for this Christmas way on. I don't have to worry about it this year. I've already got them. They're all stacked up, ready to go. It's called supply and demand. You buy it when demand is low and you sell it when it's high. It's like, you know, and that's true capitalism, okay? And when people understand true capitalism, you will no longer become worried about what things cost, okay? You will want to be a capitalist. You want to sell things. See, a good way you control the supply and demand and you fix the, of course, yes, exactly. I'm setting the prices for my cars because I'm the one that has to pay for it. I'm the one that has to pay for this building. I'm the one that has to pay his salary. See, when people, and it's really funny because you find out really how people think when they finally own a business and they really understand cost, supply, demand. How much do I need to sell something for to stay in business? It all of a sudden comes around, okay? And you really see where people really stand on prices and on the way things cost and the way things are. So that's my my 2 takes in today.
He gave you that information for free.
That's free. You did not have to pay for that, Robert. Now you can be closer to a capitalist. What?
I gotta go back to the warehouse to get that.
Why? What
Is
do you
that
mean open box?
Unopened box? Or open a whole box of it?
No. That's the whole order right there.
So that's good to go.
That's good. You just pack that and ship it, baby. Kevin Carroll retracted. Please don't retract. Your business plan is to pass the buck. Oh my gosh. Do you really believe that, Robert? My business plan is to pass the buck to the customer. Where do you think I have to pay Mac Henry or Daniel? Where does the money come from?
It comes from the customer.
It comes from the customer. This is exactly how the bourgeoisie, they were called. Oh, you know, they're taking advantage of the Russians, okay? And how long did that last? You know, I really wish. Thanks for the free advice. Did you keep any copies of Death of Superman? No, I did not. Okay. What are they worth now? Okay, that's a very good question. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, so the Death of Superman was a 1 in a million type of sale. Okay. Now, I don't know what the Death of Superman comic books are worth nowadays. Now, I do. $5,000
From 1992.
Really?
Some say 5, some say 3, some say, yeah, in condition.
See, the problem is they did not make a lot of them, and the original Death of Superman was the old newsprint. That's true comic books, the newsprint. When they started to go into all these different prints, it ruined comic books. And it was original newsprint when they made it. Now, here's a quick story, and this is about supply and demand. Is next door to me there was a baseball card store, and he came into my store because 3 months later, DC announced that they're going to have the Return of Superman. They were going to do 4 colors. Okay, oh, what a mistake. He comes into my store and says, "Hey, I want to order 1,500 copies of all these. There are 4 colors." I said, "Oh, you don't want to order 1,500. I mean, I'll order them, but you'll never sell those. It's a waste. Please don't do that." He said, "No." So he basically went behind my back, created his own account, and ordered 1,500 copies of all 4 colors.
And then he ran for mayor.
And then a year later, he came to me and said, "Hey, you want to buy me out? I'm going out of business." Because I only ordered like 25 or 50 copies because I knew they weren't going to be worth anything because they'd overproduced them, and I bought 50 each. And then you can still find them in bins. They're like 4 different colors, and they're hardcover, and they were terrible. Disney or DC just went stupid on that one. All right, so that's the stories for today. I'm going to go have lunch. Hasta la vista, baby. Robert Fish, he got my blood pressure going. I like free kudos better than free advice from Bryan. See, that's the problem, Robert.
You missed the whole point.
You missed the whole point, Robert. You just literally missed the whole point. Only if you had a lot of the overhead, as Bryan does, then you pressure is to make lots of money fast so you can overwhelm. That's right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Call from
Yes, Adam Hurt. Ahoy. Yes. Yes. Amish breakfast. Yes. 9 a.m. We'll have it all ready, baby. Yep. Okay. Well, that's great. Well, thanks. Don't forget to bring Alex with you. You kidding? Yeah. Well, see, I have some airplane RoboGears snap together planes. Yeah. Oh, I know. I have a couple kits. Alrighty. Yeah, we'll see you Saturday. So Robert Fish is going to be coming. Robert Fish just called me. He's coming Saturday for breakfast. So
Adam
Robert
Hurt.
Fish, come back again. What?
Adam Hurt?
No, Robert Fish just called me.
Oh.
Robert Fish just called me and said he's going to come over for lunch or breakfast for Saturday morning. See you guys.